Welcome back. Thank you very much for staying with us. Now, judgment in the child sex ring case against Gerhard Ackerman has been postponed to Monday. The judge in the case is unwell and can't read out the judgment. Ackerman faces over 700 counts of rape, attempted murder and sex trafficking. He's pleaded not guilty to all charges. Our reporter Heidi Giokos is watching that case and joins us now with the very latest. Heidi, so the matter has been postponed to Monday. What has been the reaction of the families of the victims?
Yes, so it has been postponed to Monday, and only because of the fact that the judge is unwell and he feels as though he will not be able to read the full judgment. It has been postponed to Monday, and it will be set down for 2 days, as we do understand that the judgment is rather lengthy. But before we get some reaction to this, you mentioned the victims' families. Most of them, or majority of them, have not been here in court, and one can understand you're dealing with minors. Reliving through that trauma is obviously not easy, but I just quickly want to speak about the fact that we, as the media, did get a chance to engage with Gerhard Ackerman. Rather outrageous responses from him, him saying that the judge has no idea how difficult prison is and that he has done absolutely nothing wrong. Him basically saying that the minors knew exactly what they were getting themselves into. He's never harassed anybody, he's never done anything wrong, and this is of course something that we've heard before in this trial, him indicating that he basically thinks that these boys were fully aware of what they were getting themselves into, despite the fact that he's facing over 700 charges. But let's get perspective from the National Children and Violence Trust Chairperson, Thoko Mkhwanazi-Xaluva. Thank you so much for your time. We do appreciate it. Your response to this, we do know that postponements, of course, is for Monday because the judge is unwell, but it's obviously trauma again for victims wanting to hear exactly what's going to come out of this judgment.
It's very much unfortunate that the judge is not well, but also the fact that he is so arrogant, Ackerman. He's still denying everything and is not coming clean, and he thinks this is a minor thing. He violated children, minors, and is not feeling sorry about it. And I think for us as a nation, we should be appalled that such things are happening. It's unfortunate that he's standing alone now, seeing that his alleged partner decided to commit suicide. But the reality is our children are not safe, even when it comes to very senior people who are respectable, whom we think should not be thinking of violating children, but it's happening in this country. And we're hoping the nation will not look away, will look into this matter and know that our children are not safe and we must protect them.
Let's speak about the charges that Ackerman is facing. I'm not sure if you were able to sit through trial, but of course the testimony and evidence presented to the court by the minors was done in camera. One can understand the sensitivity around this. These are very serious charges, and having spoken to Ackerman briefly now in court, he basically says he's done nothing wrong and the boys knew what they were getting themselves into, which is rather disturbing given as an adult you should be protecting minors.
He is very arrogant, the way I see it. He thinks this is just nothing. It's just a small matter, and he's having a tough time in jail. He's still supposedly to have an even tougher time in jail because he's supposed to go there for a much longer time if he's found guilty. But I also think, you know, when people violate children, especially boys, they think it can't be that bad. He's also from that school of thought. Children are children. Minors are minors. You can't be violating them and then hoping and thinking, oh, it's not that bad. This child knew what he or she was getting herself or himself into. It's just unacceptable.
Just lastly, just tell us what you are expecting from judgment. We do know that other organizations have called for a life sentence.
We are hoping for a life sentence out of all this trauma that these children have gone through. But we're also hoping that the children will be affirmed with the guilty verdict, that they are going to feel at least it wasn't all for nothing. They gave evidence, very scary. They did everything that they were supposed to do in terms of the court process, and I'm hoping they'll get a guilty verdict.
Thank you so much for your time. We do appreciate it. That is the chairperson of the National Children and Violence Trust, Thoko Mkhwanazi-Xaluva, just giving us her perspective on this particular matter. And as I mentioned, Mfundo, judgment will be on Monday, the 24th of April. We do understand that it's going to be quite a lengthy one. But just reiterating some of what was said by Gerhard Ackerman, really oblivious to the serious charges he's facing. And it's not just one or two charges. This is over 700 charges that he is facing, and very serious nature of charges that he is, of course, facing. So we'll have to wait till Monday to hear what comes out of this judgment.
All right, Heidi, thank you very much for that update. That's eNCA reporter Heidi Giokos.